Hey everyone! So today what I want to talk to you about is singleness. And recently I made an Instagram post about this topic and what my thoughts are on it. And I kind of just wanted to dive a little deeper into it because it's something that I've been thinking about for a very long time and something I've struggled with, something I've just had to face during this time in my life. And so it's something that I want to be able to talk to you about because I know I'm not the only one who has these feelings or focuses on singleness a lot of the time. I think it's really easy for us to get caught up in the world of Pinterest and picture perfect weddings and our friends getting engaged, having babies, getting married, all of that stuff. It's easy to get caught up in that and to just, sometimes for some people, myself included, you just start to really want that. And when you're not getting it, you're kind of like, well, why am I in this part of my life and these people are in a completely different part of life, like things happen at different times for different people. And so it can be hard to not get jealous or, kind of covet what someone else has at times because you want that yourself. And something I want to point out is that God doesn't let your desires go unnoticed. Like, you have the desires in your heart for a reason. And so I don't want anyone watching this to think that I'm trying to say, oh, desiring that is bad. Just put it out of your mind. We have those desires for a reason, and God will do the right thing with those desires in His time. So that is something I just kind of want to get out there. I'm not saying it's bad to want to get married or have a relationship or just, be with someone else. Like, those things aren't bad things. What the problem we get to, though, with that is when we make our whole life about wanting those things and we only look up, trying to get my words together. It gets to be a problem when we just make our whole life about wanting to get married or wanting to be in a relationship, wanting to be someone's girlfriend, someone's wife. Like, when we constantly focus on that, we kind of lose sight of what is really important, and that is living our lives for God. Trying to do everything to glorify Him. And by focusing solely on a human relationship, we kind of start to lose sight of the goodness that God gives us already and the love that He has for us. And that's really what we should be focused on. And something that I've realized, especially over the past year, is that if I eventually want to have a great relationship with someone, I need to put my whole focus on God and my relationship with Him. And if that relationship is in the right place and I focus solely on that, another relationship will come into my life at the right time. And I know it is so hard to wait for that kind of relationship, especially when it's something that you just feel like, I'm ready for it, I want this in my life. And so it's so easy to kind of just fall into the trap of thinking like, oh, well, if I don't get it now, like, I'm never going to get it. So not true. We have those desires for a reason, and God will fulfill those desires in His own time. So it's really just about trusting that everything is going to happen at the right time in the right way, and you don't want to rush that. I've kind of been someone who's always wanted to plan every aspect of my life, and so I have learned a lot about not rushing things and kind of just waiting for things to happen in God's timing. And it is so hard when you are a planner like me because you want to just plan every single detail out there, every single one. But we can't do that. It's not going to work out. And another thing that I kind of want to touch on is that we're not promised a romantic relationship with someone. And I know some people out there are thinking, oh my gosh, this girl has no idea what she's talking about. She's crazy. I don't want to listen to what she's saying. But hear me out. There are people, strong, wonderful people that were mentioned in the Bible, that never had a romantic relationship of any kind. But their lives were so good because they were focused on God, and that was enough for them. So my challenge to you is to focus on your relationship with God. And if He decides to bless you with a relationship, a romantic relationship with someone, He will do that in His time. But if we are working to focus everything on God and our relationship that we have with Him, that's going to be enough. We are going to feel as fulfilled as we could ever imagine. And we might not even have that romantic relationship that we thought that we so desperately needed. And so I think it says a lot when you're content just in your relationship with God, and being content in that relationship should always be enough for us. So my challenge to anyone who has sat through this and listened to me ramble is to just really focus on your relationship with God and building a strong relationship with Him, and making sure that everything you do in your life is to glorify Him. And when you've truly worked toward focusing on Him alone, you're going to see that everything in life is just a little bit sweeter, regardless if you have a romantic relationship or not. Do you get what I'm saying? The relationship with God is going to always trump any other relationship we think that we want more than anything. So focus on your relationship with God. Pray to Him. Talk to Him every day. He wants you to. He wants to talk to you. He wants to hear what is on your heart. He already knows, but He wants you to come to Him and tell Him all those things. Tell Him about your desires for a relationship. Tell Him about your desires to want to be someone's girlfriend, someone's wife one day. Ask Him to take those desires and use them to glorify Him. And if He decides to do it in His timing, He will bless you with the greatest relationship, one that you didn't rush into, one that is solely working towards glorifying God, and it's just better than anything that you could ever imagine. So if you stuck with me this long, thanks for listening. I just had a lot on my mind and I wanted to get it off my chest. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.